Yes, I have wanted to do it for a while, for quite some time. But certain things have held me back. I mean, who wants to spend a majority of their time editing their life instead of living it? It is much easier to live comfortably with your old routines than create space for new ones. I think that's what's been holding me back from starting this channel. However, coming to face the fact that it does take time and that the aesthetic final product results from hours upon hours of grueling hard work. Now, here's the question. If this is something that I've wanted to do for so long, then why haven't I done it? Perhaps when reality takes the fun out of your dream, you no longer see it as worthwhile. It becomes tainted. It is something that takes time away from being with friends and family, from your other hobbies. Suddenly, your dream becomes anything but desirable. When you first realize that this shiny new thing that you imagined would improve your life is now the source of your stress, the first thing you wish to do is run away screaming. But, of course, after you have run out of breath, you turn around and realize that you still really desire what you have run from. But you're too far from it now and continue to walk away. Until the next time, when you inevitably turn around and try chasing your goals for the 100th time. The solution to this never-ending cycle? Well, so far I've found that it is balance. Finding the balance between what is yours and what you wish to share with the world. Finding the balance between living and creating my life. I wouldn't have started making videos if I didn't have something to create or contribute. So now I am taking the time to actually finish what I start. Even if the end product doesn't look like how I imagined it in the first place. I can proudly say that I am a YouTube child. YouTube and I were born together in 2005, and in 8 or 9 we were best friends, laughing and growing together. Over the years, it morphed from being a source of entertainment to a form of self-expression and discovery. Through parasocial interactions, I felt like a part of whichever channel I was into at the time, and in some cases have felt like I've grown alongside other YouTubers. And through that time, I had dreamt on several different occasions of not only watching, but creating videos as well. So, as a filmmaking student in college, is there a better time to create a channel myself? I think not. I truly think it is time that I stopped suppressing and censoring myself out of fear of what can go wrong, and start taking action filled with the excitement and inspiration of what can go right. I grew up with the mindset that I could do anything if I just put my mind to it. And though very useful in a meritocratic and capitalist society, with that mindset came the ability to complete tasks that I didn't truly enjoy, and also the tying of my self-worth to, you guessed it, external achievement. But now, after a year of college and a lot of personal growth, I feel like I'm ready to take seriously the endeavors that I only half enjoyed and half put myself into in the past. To wholeheartedly delve into the passions that I neglected in high school because they weren't seen as stereotypically productive in the academic sense. And so, I'll see how the pursuit of this lifelong dream fits on me for a while, because the last thing I want to do is contribute to the graveyard of abandoned YouTube channels. It's not like I've never worked there before, so why is there this weird palpitation thing happening in my chest? It's not dread, most of it is excitement, the rest are nerves. Going into the restaurant the day before work to get my bearings is a smart idea, but also highly fear-inducing for an overthinker. I respect my place of work so much. I love the workers, I love the customers, the atmosphere, what it stands for. So yes, there is a lot of pressure there to not royally screw up. it's easy to, shy away from new circumstances and new places, and much more difficult to get out of your routine, leave the house, and just let what happens happen. Most of that stems from fear of the unknown. But hey, if I constantly lived my life knowing everything that was going to happen, wouldn't it be a little less fun? I truly believe that sticking through uncomfortable or anxious feelings when dealing with foreign circumstances is beneficial to living a fulfilled and truly meaningful life. Because if you go out into the world and see what happens, you might be surprised. A few weeks ago, a new mindset came to fruition from the recent reflections I have done about my relationship to the world. It's not so much an idea, but just the feeling that I am connected to everything and everyone around me. As everything, every being, object, plant, animal, shelf, eraser, has one very important thing in common: existence. The more I've not only started to take note of, but feel the people and nature around me and see them as part of myself, the less anxiety I've started to feel around others, and in turn, myself. Sometimes when I build something up in my head so much, the only solution is to go headfirst into whatever is causing me to have those feelings, and just tell myself, no matter what happens, I love you. And, as if the universe lifted a giant weight off of my shoulders, the second I stepped into the restaurant, the majority of my nerves just melted away. Not to say that some of them didn't stay. Naturally. Halfway through my actual shift, I became really proud of myself as I completed with ease the old practiced habits and waitressing routine. With every order I took, every "have a great day" and "how would you like your eggs," I was quickly reminded of all the reasons I loved working there, and it was like I never left. I think a lot about how astonishing it is how different customers can be from table to table. You can go from serving the person who turns back food for the smallest inconvenience to the person who shows immense gratitude for the taste of their meal and the cozy atmosphere. One specific lady I served comes to mind for the latter example. After serving her meal, she stopped me to express that it was delightful to not only experience wonderful food, but wonderful service as well, saying that the energy I had while serving was necessary, since you never really know what people are going through. She hit the nail on the head with that one, since that is the exact philosophy I keep in mind while serving. This is not the first time someone has commented on my energy, as last summer another woman once said that my smile, though it is bright now, will fade over time. And I really hope not. Do I hope the nature of my smile will change with age, fine-tuned by life experience, and harboring the nuance that can only come from wisdom earned later in one's life? Of course, and I bet a lot of other people feel that way. But fade? A general common fade? I don't see that happening. First of all, I'm too stubborn, and second of all, the simple yet relentless beauty of life will never go unnoticed. At least to my naive and 19-year-old eyes. Engaging in conversation with your thoughts while they are irrational and erratic can lead you down a dark path, especially when you wake up with a headache and feeling weird. Whenever I engage in conversation with my thoughts while stressed, I create delusions and stories that aren't true, which make me enter fight or flight. With a highly active brain like mine, it sometimes works overtime and doesn't stop until I've genuinely convinced myself there is something wrong. But one of the most important things while in this state, no matter how cliche it sounds, is to try and practice self-compassion. And this doesn't mean just letting yourself off the hook or not taking responsibility for things. It is seeing yourself through the eyes of a close friend and cultivating a dialogue in your mind that helps rather than harms. It is the practice of choosing to see the human being through your delusional thoughts every time and telling it that everything is okay. And obviously that's controversial too, because when you feel like everything's not okay, it's kind of useless to tell yourself that everything's okay. But in that sense, can delusion fight delusion? Anyways, getting over the fear of the self, the person we spend all of our time with, is one task that is ironically the most difficult to accomplish for some. For me. But when you do, or begin the journey of doing so, it is one of the most freeing, lucrative, and genuinely worthwhile journeys one can take. And I'm not going to say goal, because to me that signifies that there's this desirable point where you simply attain a fixed state of sustained self-compassion. I don't say goal because it is an immeasurable journey that one embarks on throughout their entire life. My morning routine was good. I did the usual and got right to work. But when I started editing, the cruise video was giving me so much crap. Due to my intention of actually following through with my creative projects, I put myself through hell and back, continuing to edit the cruise video no matter how much crap it was giving me, just to get some form of that video out. This whole chain of events brings in the everything happens for a reason saying. Yeah, if I hadn't recorded an hour and a half's worth of footage with my sister, began editing, realized that the video was going to take a lot longer than I thought to finish, continued anyway, switched between editing softwares, and wanting to scrap the entire project, then I wouldn't have finally decided on making a 4-minute travel highlights video that was more enjoyable to create and watch than a 40-minute long-form vlog would be. That process also informed me on what kinds of videos I wish to make going further, and also, pragmatically, the pros and cons of the editing softwares I switched between. So, even though I went through many different versions of the cruise video, I followed through and reached my goal of preserving the trip's memories as a single, consolidated video, allowing my sister and I to travel back in time and others to join in on the journey. Which is one of the reasons I believe that video editing is truly magical. It was also worth it because all of my grandparents and family loved it. My grandma watches all of my sister and I's videos. I love her so much. I really wanted to read this morning because I needed to return to my natural state of humanity after becoming a video editing monster the previous day. And right after I got out of that state, I re-entered the fray with a clear mind, making good progress on the music video. And after a couple of hours, becoming an editing monster yet again. Later that day, my family and I drove to a Hindu temple, the largest Hindu temple in the US. It gave me a good mental break from editing and allowed me to reflect on some things. It was a beautiful bright day out, the kind of day when it feels like the sun is just shining straight into your soul. Now I'd like to share a quote from the temple that I feel was very applicable to my editing troubles at the time. During floods, large trees that stand erect are often washed away, while short grass remains in its place because of its flexibility. Similarly, in the floods of life, the inflexible and egotistical are swept away, while the flexible and humble endure. If I wasn't flexible enough to change my original plan of the video multiple times, I wouldn't have winded up with what turned out to be a lovely video. I know that technically all of my suffering and labor over that cruise video was not necessary at all. It was entirely self-imposed. However, I've come to find that one's behavior in the last 10% of any endeavor is just as, if not more important, than the 90% of work that has already been completed. It is pushing through that last 10% that really does matter. So, what is the purpose of this video? Awaken my thoughts, to continue my journey toward creating my imagined life, and to stop running away from something I too often turn around to look at. I guess only time will tell if this dream sticks or not. Only time will tell.